Thank you very much, Cahill. First of all, I want to welcome the children and teachers, these young children and teachers here to Darien today, and we hope that by the time they're sitting in these seats here, that they'll be things will be much better in our country. First of all, Minister, I have to say to you that since he came into office in 2020, he had more things closed down and more harm done than any other previous government. Yourselves, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. The first thing he done was to close down Bornemona in the middle of the country, Shannon Bridge and Lanesborough. And since that very day, Minister, the cost of electricity has gone up day by day. He did that because he had the power to do that, not because it was the right thing to do, because since then he have no proper alternative put in place. And we see the way that the cost of electricity has gone up so much, and the thrust of our motion here today is that we can't understand why people are being charged as much so much for electricity by those producing the wind energy. God Almighty, Minister, so the cost of the wind hasn't gone up. And how can he explain that or condone that? And the standing charges have gone up, Minister. In a wartime, when we're trying to help others by welcoming into this country, we're hurting our own now and doing nothing about it. Where is the energy regulator? Where is the minister in charge of this that's allowing this to happen, Minister? And look, I'm not being personal or anything. It's your policies, not the people. Your policies are wrong. And I mean, when we hear about this big meeting out in wherever it is, this COP place, and I'd say to a lot of the people that are attending it, they should cop on first before they even think of you know, because we see, and the people of Ireland see what's happening. The Chinese are building coal-burning generating stations at the present time. They're adding to the 2,290 that they already have. I think they're building 500 more. And they're planning for 300 more after that. The Germans are burning coal. And here are we telling us, after all that people have gone through, that people can't buy a bag of turf or people can't sell a bag of turf. And I'm honestly proud, and I admire the people that went to the bog this summer. And you know, Eamon Ryan played no small part because he highlighted, he was in his bid to stop people of cutting turf. They actually proved that they can still cut it, because many of them had gone over to oil and different things because of maybe other things that prevented them from going to the bog. But I can assure that more than ever, more people than ever went back to the bog this year, and they'll be going again next year, Minister. And I'm proud now that the winter is on, that we've done set in winter, that many people can look into their fire and derive the heat that comes from a good turf fire. Then we see this thing, this COP, where all the big powers are attending, and even your own ministers flying first class, and you're telling people here that they can't burn turf, or that they shouldn't be warm. And now you have the gall to tell people in public offices that they can't boil a kettle. And that what are we at? Are you gone stone loony altogether? Because I even have the, and I'll mention it again. There's an elderly woman that I know, and there are more of them, that are afraid to boil the kettle now because it will actually add to their electricity bill. God Almighty, Minister, I'm appealing to you. You're more reactive rather than proactive. You're talking about introducing a cap now. We asked you for this all the year. Businesses are going to ground. Butchers who sell abroad, they're closing down. And this will have an adverse effect because finished cattle are down 200 or 300 now. Many butchers have closed already, and it is affecting the trade. So I'm asking you now to cop on and actually realise and make the regulator do his job and ensure that these companies aren't getting 2 or 3 times the profit that they shouldn't be getting, at the expense of the ordinary punter that's trying to light the light or boil the kettle and try to keep that business going. I'm appealing to you to cop on, please, Minister.